Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tabasa here, back with another entry video. Again, I still don't have another book yet. I'm hoping my grandma will get around to getting me one, because it's usually how I've gotten them in the past. But if it doesn't happen around Christmas time, then I might have to go get one myself. But today's entry is from December 6th of 2024, 12:31 a.m. to 1 a.m. Tonight was a very unsuccessful night because I let my temper get the best of me. I was playing with my friends on Apex and I wanted to get wins so I could have 1600 wins on Catalyst. At the end of my playing session of 4 hours and 45 minutes, we only got 3. There were many games in which we could have won, but something goes wrong or we run into a team crutching this season's meta, which is horrible. The meta revolves around support legends that have way too much class perks and that cause the flow of the game to slow down. Fights get dragged out to an unreasonable lengths, and even if you knock 2 of the 3 enemies, they're most likely able to reset quicker than you can push the last guy. On top of all this, the shotguns got some slight buffs, so now the same support legends that are overpowered can peek in and out of their shields that they have. This playstyle does change the way fights happen, because even if a skilled player can control their recoil from a distance or have really good trigger discipline, it won't matter if they get 2 or 3 tapped by a shotgun. I'd be lying if I said I like Apex as much as I did. I just don't find this meta enjoyable and I want it to change. I feel like my gun skill that I've worked so hard on and for so long is not amounting to anything right now. I get so anxious to the point where I scream in anger when I die. This game is killing me. I haven't acted the way I did for a while. What's embarrassing about all this is that the games I play are not even ranked anymore. They're pubs. I'm getting actively mad and toxic at a game mode that I'm supposed to be chill and fun. I refuse to let this game bog me down like this anymore. After I get these last 2 wins, I'm not touching Apex for a while. Instead, I'm going to revisit the finals because the destruction and movement in that game are fun and fresh. Above all, it's time for me to accept that Apex, in my mind, is truly dying. Apex Legends is a game that I have loved for so long. There were a couple seasons I didn't play, and when it first came out, I actually didn't necessarily stick with it. I actually stopped playing for a little bit before I came back to it and then picked it up again. And ever since I came back in season 3, I've only taken 1 season off, which was season 6, to just not play, I guess. And because of that, I have spent a lot of time in that game. I think I have about nearly 400 days in that game. And it is sad for me to feel like I have to go away from a game that I've spent so much time in and that I love to play. Apex isn't a perfect game. The audio sucks. And a lot of bullshit can happen. But the reason why I liked playing it is because how I felt when playing it. I felt like the movement was by far the best I've seen out of any game. And it's what kept me wanting to stick around. I eventually played ranked for a while, and when Arenas was out and I got master in that, and then after that I said I wanted to get pred, and then I did. And now it's just kill grinding, which, if I look at it from a very objective standpoint, it's just a personal goal at this point. It's not something that can really be flashy or anything unless you have it as your tracker and you have it enabled on your banner. And really your kill counter is just a sign of how much time you've spent on the game. For me, I want to get 20,000 kills because I think that puts me in like the range of top 10 catalysts on Xbox, not overall. And I think win wise, I'm like 12 or something. But for me, I grew very attached to Apex. And it's something that I spent so much time in and so much effort that when the game does eventually die, it'll be a very sad day for me because all of this effort has been put into the game and it's gone. And I can't get it back all the time. The entire 400 days I've spent won't ever come back. But the important thing, I believe, is to take away what I have learned from it. I think my gun skill in general is really good now. I think whenever I pick up an FPS shooter, I think I have a lot better chance than someone who's casually playing. And so if I do find that other game one day when Apex dies, I think I will be able to accept that, this is my new game and I'm moving on. On a separate note, but also similar, I want to talk about attachments because Apex for me is an attachment. And I have an issue myself of attachment, whether it's to something or to people. Throughout my entire life, I've lived on a schedule. I've grown accustomed to this schedule, and I don't like to see it change whatsoever. And in fact, sometimes that ends up making me look very lazy or very selfish because I become unwilling to change my schedule. With time, I have learned to kind of suck it up and deal with it. It's just a part of life. Shit happens. And I should not let my selfishness get in the way of helping other people or doing what's right. This attachment to a schedule is also tied into my habit of playing video games, my hobby. Because after every day that I get done with school, I go home, I eat dinner, I take a shower, get everything out of the way so I have nothing left for the night, and I play video games. And it's something where I feel like I am slowly digging myself into a hole eventually because if this becomes my schedule for the rest of my life, because I will grow comfortable with it, then I will most likely never find a partner in life. I will never find a girlfriend and therefore will never find a wife. And it's a bit frightening, I guess, for me to realize this, that if I don't change my schedule, if I don't change what I'm comfortable with, then I will forever be alone. I don't think it's a good thing to become comfortable with having video games be my end of the day routine activity that I do day in and out, because I don't want to not end up finding someone. What I will say is that this past year, I think I have shown some improvement. I did have a girlfriend for about 3 weeks, and I did take time off the game and spend time with her. There was never a day that went by that if I could hang out with her, that I would choose video games over her. I always chose my girlfriend every day because I wanted to grow. I wanted to change in that aspect. I didn't want to be attached to video games. I find it odd that when I was younger, whenever I would start conversations with girls, I would get attached to them. And I would think, maybe this could be my girlfriend. And when I talked to them, whether it was someone online or not, I would always want to be their friend no matter what. And I would never want to stop talking to them. And I feel like part of that is very toxic. Like, I never realized that I myself need to take a break and stop worrying about someone that I'm not even in a relationship with. I think it harnessed a lot of my anxiety of worrying about, is this person going to text me? Is this person going to, call back? And I think on the flip side, it's not right for me to do that. I don't think it's a good thing to always be attached to someone and always try and be on their tail about what's going on, who they're talking to. It's very, very toxic. It's not healthy for either person. And it's something that I've really tried to get away from. All the girls that I have previously talked to, that I've had attachment to, I don't talk to them at all anymore. Except for one that I talked to last week, so maybe I need to fix that still. In a similar vein, though, there's no girls that I've talked to lately in which I've really felt a sense of attachment to. I feel isolated from them. I find it hard to talk to them at some times. I don't think attachments are really a good thing. In fact, I think they could be very destructive because they can really end up ruining your love for something. And I guess for me, that is to say that my perception of attachment is indulgence. I indulge in video games. I indulge in the communications and the presence of talking to a specific girl. I'm just indulging. Never really stepping back to look at the broader picture of what is this doing to me? Did I know that video games are taking up so much of my time and I am also throwing away my social life because of that? Because who knows? If I never got attached to video games, I could be out on a date with a girlfriend of however many years. I could have met a soulmate. I could have made connections with people which I could, help out with, and they can help me out later in life because they have some other different occupation than I do. But instead, I sit in my room and continue to put the controller in my hands. And yet, I'm the one being controlled. I know, big brain. I'm using my noggin. Guys, that's about all I have for today. And I would hope that you guys maybe got something out of this or can relate to this. Because that's really what this channel is about for me, is just saying my life as it happens and seeing if people can relate and to see that I'm not alone. So, I'll see you guys later. Peace.